You remember vividly the unbound imagination of childhood, creating universes from the thin air of your mind. The world around you was vibrant, limitless, a playground for endless questions. You explored possibilities without fear of judgment, your creativity blossoming effortlessly, fueled by sheer wonder and endless curiosity. But gradually something began to shift, subtle, yet profound. Authority gently nudged you, whispering rules and boundaries. Color inside the lines. You were gently commanded, as if your free expression required constraint. Choose the right answer. You were firmly reminded, as though questions had singular, static solutions. Slowly but surely, creativity became risky, something to be approached with caution, not embraced openly. Originality began to feel dangerous, imagination something to temper rather than unleash. Your vibrant impulses were slowly replaced by hesitation, self-doubt creeping into the spaces once occupied by fearless exploration. By adolescence, curiosity had faded into compliance. Vibrant questions turned into cautious queries, and the profound why became the practical muted plea. Will this be on the test? Yet here's the unsettling paradox at the heart of it all. Our culture passionately idolizes creative rebels, figures like Albert Einstein, Leonardo da Vinci, and Maya Angelou, whose visionary brilliance shattered norms and expanded the boundaries of human possibility. We celebrate their audacity, their unyielding courage to question accepted truths, and their refusal to conform to societal constraints. Yet, paradoxically, the very educational systems that shape young minds today are designed in a manner that would dismiss and even punish similar displays of creativity. Einstein, dismissed by teachers for daydreaming. Da Vinci, considered eccentric and distracted. Maya Angelou, whose powerful voice defied conventional narratives. Each of these luminous minds would have struggled within the rigid structures of modern schooling, branded as failures or troublemakers. How then can we simultaneously honor and glorify innovation, yet systematically penalize the curious child who dares to imagine differently? How many potential Einsteins, Da Vinci's or Angelus lie hidden, suppressed beneath standardized tests and silenced beneath neat, obedient rows of classroom desks, waiting for a world brave enough to recognize their quiet genius? To unravel this mystery, we must delve deeper beneath the superficial layers of grades, textbooks, and standardized evaluations into the historical roots and psychological motivations behind modern education. Today's schooling system emerged directly from the Industrial Revolution, meticulously crafted to cultivate uniformity, punctuality, obedience, and efficiency. Its core purpose was never to foster creativity, innovation, or authentic individual expression. Rather, it was fundamentally concerned with producing reliable, predictable workers for burgeoning factories and bureaucratic offices. The implications of this historical truth reach far beyond the classroom. Carl Jung once insightfully observed, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." Yet modern education systematically promotes conformity through external standards, grades, tests, and rankings, rather than encouraging profound self-awareness and self-acceptance. The result is generations of individuals taught not to understand their true selves, but to mold themselves into predetermined societal shapes. Arthur Schopenhauer explored human will as a potent, intrinsic force, an impulsive drive toward self-realization and meaningful creation. Yet contemporary education actively silences and suppresses this innate impulse, transforming vibrant, unpredictable human potential into structured, predictable outcomes. Jean-Paul Sartre further illuminated this psychological confinement, warning against bad faith, the profound self-deception of denying one's freedom and responsibility to escape anxiety. Tragically, our educational institutions, intentionally or inadvertently, cultivate precisely this self-deception, encouraging students to abdicate personal authenticity for societal approval, conditioning them to value security over freedom and conformity over courageous individuality. Education, meant originally to awaken and nourish the soul, has become a subtle yet potent tool of conformity. It quietly conditions you to seek external validation over internal authenticity. The consequences of this conditioning are both subtle and devastating. Hesitation creeps into your voice when expressing original thoughts, fearing judgment or ridicule. The anxiety you feel about your worth becomes directly linked to external approval, grades, and measurable achievements. Cognitive psychologists call this learned helplessness, conditioned passivity that weakens the spirit. Neurologically, repeated exposure to rigid structures rewires your brain, teaching you subconsciously to avoid uncertainty, risk, and ambiguity, precisely the spaces where creativity thrives. Existentially, Viktor Frankl taught that meaning is the essence of life. Without it, existence feels empty and aimless. Yet schools persistently emphasize facts, formulas, and memorization without ever genuinely addressing the deeper questions of self-awareness, existential purpose, and personal fulfillment. Rather than nurturing inner growth, these institutions prioritize external achievement, often neglecting emotional intelligence, spiritual exploration, and the pursuit of authentic meaning. This imbalance cultivates a haunting emptiness in adulthood, a lingering sense of dissatisfaction despite achieving societal benchmarks, degrees, career advancements, material possessions, each promise to bring fulfillment, but ultimately leaving individuals feeling hollow and incomplete. The greatest tragedy lies in an education system originally intended to empower and liberate, but now silently eroding individual identity, causing countless adults to reflect painfully and ask, why do I still feel empty despite achieving everything society promised would fulfill me? Yet rebellion against this subtle but profound conditioning is possible, not through violent defiance, but through radical remembrance and reclamation of who you truly are. Begin by redefining intelligence beyond standardized measures such as tests, grades, and formal evaluations. Consider remarkable figures like Leonardo da Vinci, Virginia Woolf, and Nikola Tesla, each considered unconventional or even eccentric during their lifetimes, yet each profoundly reshaped human understanding and societal boundaries. Failure, you must realize, is not shameful. It is vital and integral to meaningful growth and innovation. Step away from rigid schedules and reclaim your time, permitting yourself moments of quiet reflection, slowing down enough to listen deeply and genuinely to your inner voice. Actively protect and restore your attention, consciously dedicating yourself fully to pursuits and tasks that resonate profoundly within you. Rediscover the importance of play, not as mere frivolous distraction, but as sacred exploration, a fundamental expression of your innate and profound creativity, a crucial pathway to discovering genuine meaning and purpose in your life. Embrace multiplicity. Allow yourself to be philosopher, poet, scientist, inventor, dreamer, explorer, healer, and creator all simultaneously. Do not confine yourself to narrow definitions or predetermined paths. Instead, embrace the complexity and fluidity of your identity. Curate your education and your life experiences based on passion, intuition, curiosity, and a sense of wonder, rather than external syllabi, examinations, or societal expectations. Recognize that every influential figure who reshaped history, Galileo, Toni Morrison, Malcolm X, began as a rebellious voice, boldly challenging conventional wisdom and refusing conformity. They did not wait for permission or validation before speaking their truth and manifesting their visions. Neither should you. But here is the ultimate, liberating realization, the core truth that can transform your existence. Creativity is not merely an action or skill to be practiced occasionally. It is your very essence, your fundamental nature. It is not something external that schools can measure, teach, suppress, or fully control. Creativity is the infinite, rebellious spark at the core of your being, the sacred place where your soul intimately connects with reality and possibility. Society taught you to regard creativity as an optional luxury, a side interest, an extracurricular hobby, something marginal to your real life. But in truth, creativity is life itself. It is the profound courage to envision and pursue realities that do not yet exist, to boldly dream, innovate, and manifest new worlds from within. You were never designed to passively fit into the world as it currently is. You were uniquely gifted and powerfully equipped to actively remake it, reshape it, and reinvent it. The world does not need obedient followers. It desperately and urgently requires visionaries, those courageous enough to ask uncomfortable questions, express disruptive truths, challenge ingrained paradigms, and imagine seemingly impossible futures. The discomfort you carry, that persistent restlessness and yearning for deeper meaning, purpose, and authenticity, is your creativity resolutely refusing to surrender quietly to conformity. That ache is your unrealized potential calling out, demanding expression, release, and fulfillment. Your ultimate freedom lies in refusing to remain contained within a system built upon conformity, standardization, and control. Rise up boldly and unapologetically. Speak your truth clearly and fearlessly. View failures not as setbacks, but as profound opportunities for growth and transformation. Create relentlessly, passionately, and joyfully. Creativity is not a luxury. It is a revolutionary necessity, an indispensable force capable of reshaping lives and societies. Your life is your canvas, limitless and brimming with potential. Refuse to obediently color within the narrow lines drawn by others. Rise courageously, create boldly, rebel relentlessly. Your creativity, the profound essence of who you truly are, demands nothing less